Hello everyone! Today I'm here to do a tag because I like to do a tag a month and there's no other explanation for it. Today is the Moody Book Tag. I believe is all about mood reading, which is my jam lately, especially this year. I've just been mood reading a ton and I haven't been putting on TBRs. I've just been reading whatever I feel like it and it's been pretty good. So I thought, hey, why not do a tag all about it? I believe this tag was created by Coynie Reads, which I will link down below. And yeah, let's get right into it. Let's talk all about mood reading. So the first question, coincidentally, is do you consider yourself a mood reader? Yes, I do. I would say I'm a mood reader still on a schedule. I like to read like 3 books within a certain genre. And then review them. That's just kind of how I am. But I've much more gone into mood reading of if I don't feel like a book, I won't read it. If I feel like a book, I'll read it. So I definitely would consider myself a mood reader. Question number 2 is, do you set TBR lists and do you stick to them? I used to. Last year and years before, I am just a sucker for a list. I love lists. I love like checking things off on lists. Like I get a thrill from it. Like it's the type A in me. But this year I have not done any like TBRs really at all. For video wise, I do write a list of books I would like to read in my planner like for the month, and they're just like if I get around to them, great. If not, that's okay too. I do still really like to read new releases a lot because that's just what I like to do. Plus, I really like to read on my e-reader because it's easier with a kid, trust you me. And yeah, so I would say I don't really write TBRs down. Like I just will pay attention to what's coming out, and if it sounds okay, then I'll read it. If not, then maybe not. So I guess no. Books affect you emotionally. Does the mood of a book rub off on you? 1000%. I just finished a very scary book and it definitely affected me because it affected my sleep and everything. That's not fun. So yeah, it affects me. If I read a really sad one, it'll affect me. If I read a really happy one, it'll affect me. That's just the type of person I am, like even with movies and shows, which is why if you notice, I don't read a lot of like really intense sad books because I will be very sad. I don't even watch a lot of sad shows anymore. Like one of my favorite shows of all time is Parenthood. I loved Parenthood. I still do. I used to rewatch it like every year, but I haven't rewatched it in a couple years because it's a beautiful show, but it made me cry so much. It affected me so much. That's why I don't like Watch This Is Us or other really dramatic shows because like I don't want to say I don't need that in my life. It'll affect me way too much. That's the type of person I am. When you're feeling sad, do you like to read sad books, happy books, or neutral books? 1000% happy books. If I'm feeling sad, if I'm feeling stressed, I will always turn to a happy book because it will help lift my spirits. Like just a funny rom-com that'll just make me so lovey-dovey and heartwarming. I'm there for. So 1000%, yes, I do. You can tell a lot of me is based on like my mood and stuff like that. Most often, do you use reading to escape, to learn, or to critically reflect? I'd say to escape, honestly. I think there's readers out there that do a lot of critically reflecting, and that's great and that's awesome. That's probably something that I should do more of. But I do read mostly to escape. I do read a lot of books to learn about other cultures, learn about diversity, because I definitely need to learn more. But I would say my main form of reading is to escape. That's why I read so much romance and thrillers and stuff. It's just to escape and just not escape into a thriller world. No, thank you. But to like a rom-com world, like I love that. I love romance. So yeah, I do read to escape mostly. What is a book that made you laugh out loud? Oh, several of them. I mean, the one that really always makes me laugh out loud is I've Got Your Number by Sophie Kinsella. Any Sophie Kinsella book, because I usually listen to them on audio, which I don't listen to a lot of books on audio because mom life. But this was one that made me laugh out loud. A lot of autobiographies as well, or memoirs, I should say, like Mindy Kaling's has made me laugh. Tina Fey has made me laugh. I think I read Tiffany Haddish's book last year. That also made me laugh, also made me learn a lot about her. I don't think of any other books that make me laugh, but those are like the main ones I would say. What is a book that has made you cry, or if you don't cry, one that really moved you? Usually I would say I don't cry with books. I'm not a big crier. Like shows, TV show, like shows, movies, even commercials. That's right, I'll cry. Books, it would take me a while, but that was until I read this bad boy and it made me sob like a beast. There could be still teardrops on this book. Who freaking knows? But when I say I sobbed, like I sobbed when I read this book. Another book that made me cry was Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. Where's that book at? Oh, right here. This book also made me cry as well. It was just so beautiful and poignant and definitely taught me a lot. What are some other books that have made me cry? I mean, any Krista Hanna books will make me cry. Like, she's the queen of that. That's why I haven't read one this year, because like if I already cry a lot and then add pregnancy on top of that, like I'm not gonna go there. What other books have made me cry? I think a Frederick Bachman book has made me cry before, that's for sure. I can't think of any other right now, but whenever I think of a book that makes me cry, always The Nightingale. What is a book that you didn't even know how you felt about? Oh, it's one I actually just DNF'd because I still do not know how I feel about it, and that is Sourdough by Robin Sloan. I read that a while ago. It's a short book. It's interesting. It's a very odd book. I'll say that. I still don't know how I feel about it. I think I enjoy it, but it was also just so oddball that I was like, I don't know. So that's one that really comes to mind of I don't know how I feel about it, honestly. For other books of like, I don't know how I feel about it, I don't know. I can't say, because usually when I finish a book, I have a pretty definitive feeling on it, you know? You know, when you finish a book, you're like, I enjoyed this, or I didn't enjoy it, and you kind of go into further with that. So that's the only one I feel like I could think of, like, I still don't know. Are you more likely to read on a sunny day or a cloudy day? Both. Honestly, I read a lot outside, because when it's warmer weather, my son and I are outside a lot, and it's just way easier to read outside. Whether it be a sunny day or a cloudy day, we're outside. So either, honestly. Usually set the mood, that's in quotation marks, when you read music, light, smells, etc. No, I wish I could, but I have to like, I read the most, like, I read outside with my kid who's playing. I'll play with my kid when he's playing with Legos and he doesn't want my help or something. I'll just flip open my Kindle. So like, no, usually I'm listening to kids music. Does that set a mood? Probably not. But I mean, if I could, I would totally set the mood. Like, I would probably put on some awesome music, light a candle, have a nice glass of cold water. That would just be amazing. But do I have the luxury of doing that? No, and I'm okay with that. Last question is, do you leap from book to book, or do you need a buffer time between them? Oh, that's a great question. I would say I leap book from book. I have no problem with that, unless it was a really, really like I probably like took a break after any Kristen Hanna book, because it just took such an emotional toll out of me that I needed some time. But other than that, like, I think the only ones that will affect me if it's like a really sad book, that I'll need some time to just process it, process my emotions, things like that. But other than that, I go from book to book, and I have no problem with it usually. Like, I'll go from, like, I just finished reading like 3 thrillers in a row, and I was so excited to get to a rom-com because they were all so dark, and I'm like, I need something lighter, like, immediately. So yeah, book to book is like how I'd usually do things. Right, that was the Moody Book Tag. I have to say, I really enjoyed that, because this tag really encompasses a lot of my feelings and thoughts on being a mood reader, and how I am a mood reader, and how books really do affect my mood. Because I don't know, I guess they really do. Do books affect your mood as much as they do for me? I would love to hear. And if you want to do this tag, like I said, all the links will be down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.